Well, hello there. Welcome to the Mindset Alchemy podcast. I'm your host, Janine, and I'm absolutely delighted to share awareness with you, share energy with you. Well, facts about energy. I don't know that I'm delighted to share energy with you. The important thing is that for me, creating awareness is very important, and creating awareness across many topics, understandings allows us to understand what is actually going on in our life, what we can do about it, and where we can step away from being a victim, a martyr, or whatever archetype we are keeping ourselves stuck in. Now, remember, the archetypes have a positive side and a shadow side. And if we want to play in the shadows, well, that's our choice. When we choose to expand and move forward, we get to look at the shadow and say, well, what can you help me with? Where can you help me to grow? And as we develop this awareness, it's absolutely incredible what happens and what comes forward. For me, my journey has it actually began after my dad died, and I went online and I started understanding the gifts I have, the value I have. When it really came forward was when I started looking at gene keys and my human design. And it was like, wow, everything just came forward and helped me to understand what's going on. Do I still fall prey to giving unasked for advice as a 5-1 projector? Absolutely. Am I getting better at it? Absolutely. For me, it's all about awareness, seeing situations and going, oh, squeak, I'm sorry for this. Oh, look, we grew here, and this is where we got to move forward. For those of you who are unaware of human design, as a projector, I get to see systems and better ways of doing it. And yet, I am to wait until people say, listen, can you help me out here? Or I can say to them, I have a way that could help you. And if they have no response to that, just leave it. They'll find out eventually. Otherwise, I can make them feel extremely uncomfortable and they're unable to hear what I'm saying. And when I look back on my life and I saw this repeating over and over, I went, oh, that's what was going on there. It gave me a feeling of being invisible. It helped me to stay in my victim and martyr archetype shadows. And once I could understand what was really going on, I was able to say, wow, that was because those people were unreceptive to it at that point in time. So yes, I could lay a seed. It wouldn't go into the ground or germinate necessarily because they hadn't asked for the help. They hadn't asked for advice. So something I've got learned to do is this for now? Is this for this person? Or is it for me to have an understanding of what's going on so that when they ask me various questions or we're having conversations, I have this awareness. Awareness is an interesting point of view because sometimes we have awarenesses that can make us feel, oh my giddy aunt, do I really get to do this? Would I like to do this? And at other times, it's so that we can have compassion, that we can have understanding. And the more knowledge we have, the better decisions we can make, the better understanding we can have, and the fewer faux pas we can bring forward. Many times I watched my mom come home and say, well, I didn't know about that person. I didn't know that's what was going on. And yet she very innocently said something, and people would like, oh, look at her as though she's nuts, as though she knew stuff that she really didn't know. And this is all part of working with energy. Some people are more sensitive to it than others. And we all have the ability to tap and tune into our intuition and tune into our psychic selves. For some of us, it's more to the forefront than others. And for some people, it's an aid rather than a talent, if I can put it to you that way. It's what we do with it. Janine, you're going all over the place here. I know, and that's okay. What I would like to share with you is having that awareness of an understanding of who you are helps you to deal with situations far more effectively and efficiently. So the more awareness you have of your personality, your love languages, how you're working, what you're working with, and then have an understanding of the other person, it makes life far more effective and efficient. When we could also understand things like love languages, things like personality mixes, we can then have an insight when people respond from a space of trauma or wounding rather than from a space of strength and expansion. And we can then have that feeling of, okay, what are they actually reflecting to me? Where is that for me and where was that for them, so that they could deal with it, hear themselves think about it, and alternatively make us aware of what's going on in their lives. I've seen patterns in myself, I've seen patterns in other people, and especially when it comes to things like money, relationships, where we feel threatened, where we can feel insecure. And rather than saying, you know what, it's safe to be okay and it's okay to be safe, we go into the drama and trauma of things. Whereas what I have found is when I stop, take a breath in and out, and just go, what's really happening here? Whose is this? Is this mine? And then I will normally say return to sender with love and consciousness attached, because even if it is mine, it might be coming from a different time, it might be coming from a different space. And when I can do that, it allows for expansion, it allows for growth. This is all part of the personal leadership that I work with. And in my program, Step In Rather Than Step Out, we discuss things like, what are you focusing on? Where are you focused? What are you looking to create? What are you controlling rather than co-creating with? And when we can connect with who we are, what our dream is, and connect with that feeling of being unsafe, the shadow side, it helps us to clear the fears around it and to rather create from a space of power and of awareness rather than giving our power away and letting other people dictate to us and demand from us. And we can really, really then say, you know what? I see what's happening here. I may be unable to fully understand it yet. I also see there's a repeating cycle, a pattern, and move forward from it. This is what awareness is. And that's when we get to step inside of ourselves and say, oh, what's the shadow am I working from? Am I connected to the shadow, or am I connecting with what I'm looking to create? What's asking to be cleared? And once I've cleared it, what do I put in its place? Because as we move forward, we grow, we expand, we should choose to grow and expand. Doesn't always happen. And when I work with my clients, some of the best things are to say, oh, look here, look what's happening. And as they see it and recognize it, and they see the patterns from the past, they're able to clear it in the now, so that as things come up in the future, they can rather create from a space of awareness rather than a space of fear. So my question to you today is, are you creating from fear, or are you creating from a knowingness, that deep inner knowingness of your body talking with you, your soul talking with you, and leading you in a far better way forward, so that you can create from a space of power rather than from a space of fear? Fear is not a bad thing. It does give us jolly good ideas when that adrenaline's flowing. Other times it just blocks us, just so I can add that to you. Fear is not good or bad. It just is a space we work from. It just is an emotion. And rather than give our power to it with awareness, we can actually work from power while acknowledging the fear. Let me know your thoughts and what's come forward for you today. Have a beautiful one. And if you'd like to know more about working with me, please reach out. Also, if I can ask you, please like and subscribe and leave a review. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.